Welcome back. As the two teams finish their pregame huddle and assume their starting rotations, the Assumption Greyhounds come in today at a 7-7 record on the year, 5-3 in the NE10, while the Yellow Jackets come in at 20-6 with a 7-2 record in the New England 10. Yellow Jackets are next in action on November 6th at Bentley at 1 p.m. Starting for tonight, for the Yellow Jackets, at outside hitter number 16, Andrea. Number 17, Orica. Middle blocker number 10, Milani. Middle blocker number 3, Ada. Naomi will be wearing number 1 as setter tonight, and Amanda number 7 at libero. AIC will start with serve to begin set 1. Assumption looks to be in rotation 6, receive. Naomi with first serve of the game. Good touch block by Amanda, number 13 at the net. Ulrika out of the back row. Ulrika with the dig. Set in system to Ada. Point for Yellow Jackets. Naomi with a jump float to zone 5. Dig by Amanda. With a kill from Andrea on the outside. Naomi back to the service line, getting a serve zone target from Coach Diego. Again, targeting that zone 5. Assumption goes to the middle. Middle tips around. Dig in system. Assumption with the setter dump caught AIC a little bit out of system. And Assumption wins the point. Assumption server, number 1, Kyra Belden back to serve. Amber Williams with the attack error long. Assumption goes after Ulrika. Backs it to Andrea, and she buries the kill from the right side. Andrea Serra now back to serve. Jump topspin serve. Assumption system to the middle. Assumption with the kill from number 14, Alana Hruska. Back to serve for Assumption is number 5. Jump float serve in. Amanda puts it into system. Andrea Williams with the kill off of the head of number 12 for Assumption. Right off the dome and out of bounds to earn AIC the point. Number 3, Ada Aguilera back to serve. The team is playing in honor of her mother who passed from breast cancer. A tough jump float serve falls for the ace. Assumption into system. And number 12, Alexis DeStasio with a tool kill off the hands of number 13 for AIC. It's Amber Williams with the tool block, resulting in the assumption point. Back to serve the libero. Number 3. Her serve was easily put into system, and then looks like the ref is indicating that the assumption blocker had penetrated the net plane and interfered with the setter. Point AIC. AIC leads 6-4. Number 5, Jonna Kelly is in to serve for AIC. Janae put in a great serve, and again, the assumption hitter is able to tool the outside blocker. This time, it was number 1, Naomi, the setter, that is victim of the hitter toolbox from Assumption's outside attacker. In to serve for Assumption number 10, Brandy Montoya from Aurora, Colorado. Ulrika passes the ball in system, and they feed the middle. Assumption with a dig, feeds it back to her middle. Andrea had a great stab dig in the back row, but the ball falls for the point. And Assumption ties it up at 6-6. Assumption puts in a good float serve. AIC in system. Out to Ulrika on the pin, who smashes the ball down the line, but dug successfully by Assumption. Ball pushed over. Assumption back into system. Outside swung is dug up by AIC. Back to Ulrika with a smart roll down the line and caught the defender in motion. Point AIC. Number 17, Ulrika, is now back to serve for AIC. They serve the libero, resulting in an overpass, and an overpass kill for number 10, Milani. AIC now up 8-6. Ulrika gets the serve zone target from Coach Diego and goes to work. She just misses outside of zone 1. Service error for Ulrika. Point Assumption. Number 12, Alexis DeStasio, is now back to serve for Assumption. Ulrika passing at system. Feed out to the right side. Amber Williams tools the outside block. Another kill for Amber Williams on the right side. Serving for AIC is number 7, Amanda Rodriguez, the libero. Server goes tight into zone 6. Assumption with the slide attack. Dug up by AIC and fed into system to Andrea with a big swing from the outside. Looks to be Andrea's second or third kill of the match. Rodriguez back to serve. Service error long, just past the end line. Assumption rotates, and Sophia Noel, number 9, is back into serve. Sophia is a Western Mass native, played for Minnetonka Regional High School. Serve is serve is passed up by the libero, and the ball's fed out to Andrea Serra for a kill down the line. Naomi Eckert, number 1, is back to serve now from rotation 1 for AIC. Again, she targets zone 5. Assumption in a system feeds the outside. Dug up by the setter. Out of system. Set from the libero. Fed to the outside. And a hitting error from the Assumption attacker. Assumption team was looking for a touch call. Did not get it. Point AIC. AIC leads the match 12-8 in set 1. Naomi with a tough serve deep into zone 5. Gets Assumption out of system, leading to a free ball right to the libero's platform. Quick set out to Andrea Williams for a powerful kill from the right side. Assumption does not seem to have an answer for Andrea on the right side. Timeout Assumption. AIC leading 13-8 in set 1. And we're back. Naomi Eckert back to serve after the timeout. Again, attacking zone 5. Assumption out of system. Number 16 from Assumption with a hitting error outside the antenna. Point for AIC. Not the start Assumption coach was looking for after that timeout. Assumption wins the point. And now their setter is in the back row, looking to serve from rotation 1. AIC looking to respond here. We have Andrea on the right side and Andrea Williams on the outside pin. Ulrika with a perfect pass into system to feed the middle, but Assumption with a controlled dig. AIC answers with their own dig and feeds the middle again. Assumption libero makes an outstanding play. AIC scrambling to maintain system. Ball topples over the tape. Assumption was able to turn back into an offensive swing and attack off of the AIC block for the point. This time Assumption serves Andrea, and the feed goes out to Andrea Williams, who attacks the ball long. That's Andrea Williams' first hitting error of the game from the outside pin. It's now 14-11 AIC, Assumption serving. AIC libero with a pass, feed out to Andrea on the right side. Mismanaged dig by Assumption leads to a free ball. AIC back in system, back to Andrea. Assumption block got in her face, and AIC was able to dig it back up and survive into a free ball. That turned into a middle attack from Assumption with a kill. AIC libero Amanda Rodriguez was tagged pretty hard with that middle attack. Looks like in her throat area, but she's back up on her feet. Looks okay, ready to rejoin the next play. Assumption closing the gap here. AIC holding on to a 2-point lead. Another good serve from the Assumption setter. Feed back out to Andrea, who buries the ball down the line over the small block. Andrea looked to keep the ball away from the middle blocker on that play and really found a great shot down the line to expose that weakness in the Assumption defense. Andrea Serra now back to serve. Looking to see another strong topspin serve from AIC's leading kill attacker. The jump serve is handled. Assumption tips the ball. AIC was unable to recover that tip, and it leads to a point for Assumption. Into the game for Assumption is number 5, Alexandra Krosik. Puts in a hard jump float serve. Handled by the AIC libero. Andrea Serra was set in the back row. Assumption dug it up into an overpass that fell in front of all the AIC defenders. Not an error we typically see from the strong Yellow Jacket team. This time it was a soft speed, a little changeup from the Assumption server. Led to a mismanaged dig by AIC. An attack from Andrea Williams. AIC now back in system with a tip of their own. That leads to an Assumption overpass. Set went out to Ulrika, but she made a hitting error on the hard angle just outside the sideline. Game is now notched up at 15 apiece. Andrea Serra handles the float serve. Setter dump leads to an out-of-system play by Assumption. Andrea Williams with the dig. Set out to Ulrika. Led to an overpass and a kill by number 3. Adeguera Martinez with the overpass kill. Making Assumption pay for that overpass. Ada's now back to serve for AIC in rotation 3. AIC looking to put some pressure back on Assumption. Strong float serve goes out of bounds, long. Assumption's libero is now at the service line, looking to respond. Andrea Serra is set. Is passes, and then they feed the middle. Middle tips, but it's dug by Assumption. AIC block gets in the face of the Assumption hitter. But AIC is able to recover, feed their left side attacker, who found a kill just in front of the AIC libero. Assumption with the first lead of the game at 17-16. Andrea Serra with another pass in system. Ulrika with a big smash kill from the outside. Andrea Williams subs out for a serving sub, number 5. Janae Kelly back into the game. Gets her serving location from Coach Diego. Janae goes to work. Assumption with a decent pass, but into a back to attack, leads to a tip. Easily dug up by the Yellow Jackets. And Ulrika with the kill from the outside pin. AIC reclaims the lead at 18-17. Assumption back into system, feeds their outside. Strong swing from number 12, but Andrea Serra is equal to the task in the back row with a dig and then another dig from the back row attack. Ulrika tips to zone 4, dug up by Assumption into transition. AIC out of system on libero with the set. Ulrika with the attack. Janae Williams with the dig. And setter dump for the kill from Naomi Eckert. A great way to mix up the offense and catch Assumption on their heels. AIC now up 19-17. Janae Kelly putting together a strong service run. Assumption was out of system, short roll. Ulrika's able to pick it up, and it leads to a strong back row attack from Andrea Serra out of the back row for the kill. And Assumption is calling their second timeout of the match. In the last 10 meetings against Assumption, AIC has been very successful with an 8-2 record, dating back to 2013. AIC's had some good success against Assumption. Most of the games have been played in Worcester, so this would be the 5th time it's been played here in Springfield at the Hive. Timeout at 2017, Assumption looking to regain some momentum, unable to stop the strong serves from Janae Kelly. And then a fiery attack from Andrea Serra in the back row and front row middle attacks. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back. Janae Kelly back to the service line. 2017 AIC looking for a strong push to claim set 1. Serves the libero into a right side attack. AIC comes up with 2 big blocks to put pressure. Setter dumps, but picked up by Andrea Kelly for the dig. Out to a strong swing from the outside hitter. AIC regroups. Another tip from the right side Assumption attacker. Assumption out of system. Swipes into the block to reclaim possession. AIC recovers. This is going to be a war of attrition rally. And Assumption claims the clean kill from number 12 outside hitter. Alexis DeStasio is able to end the rally. There were at least 6 or 7 exchanges across the net there. Both teams in laser focus. Definitely the response Assumption coach is looking for after his last timeout. Number 10 for Assumption, Brandy Montoya back to serve. Andre with the pass. Feed out to Ulrika with a kill down the line. Again, she's taking advantage of that small blocker matchup, keeping the ball away from the Assumption middle blocker. Now Ulrika's back to serve. Gets the serving target from Coach Diego. She locks in her serve. Assumption forced into a tip from the outside, dug by Ulrika. And a kill from the libero, Amanda Rodriguez. As she tried to bump pass over the net, it hit the top of the tape and trickled over for an unexpected but welcomed kill to make it 22-18 AIC. Ulrika to serve. AIC are happy with the service runs of late. Assumption out of system. Leads to an overpass. And now the officials have reversed the call. They had given the point to AIC, but now the down official saying that AIC was in fact in the net. Point Assumption. Alexis DeStasio now back to serve for Assumption. This will be her 3rd service line appearance in set 1. Float serve into the AIC libero. The front row setter, Naomi, is able to tip it over. But Assumption's able to turn that into a big middle swing that falls for a kill. AIC now with a 2-point lead at 22-20. Assumption with the serve. Fed out to Andrea Serra. Big swing, but dug up by Assumption. Out of system overpass. AIC back into system, feeds the middle. Assumption block is able to take away some. Back into swing offense. But the outside hitter with a hitting error. Point AIC. Great response from the Yellow Jackets. Number 7, Amanda Rodriguez, back to the service line here at 23-20. Libero versus libero. Into a slide offensive attack from Assumption. Blocked by AIC and then mishandled by Assumption for the point. Set point, AIC. Amanda goes through her routine under no pressure on game point. AIC block gets in the way of the outside hitter. Fed out to Andrea Serra for the big swing on the outside. Dug up and swung back into transition. Assumption did a great job of finding their middle on that quick action play post dig. Assumption gets the point. And Sophia Noel is back for the service line. Western Mass native was always a great server for her Minnetonka Regional High School team. She puts in a strong serve at Elrica. AIC out of system for game point. Free ball over the net. Assumption on offense. They run a quick attack in the gap, but dug up by AIC. Fed out to Andrea Serra. Her attack was blocked out of bounds by Assumption. That tool kill seals the set one win for AIC. AIC wins set one, 25-21. And we're back, ready to start set two. AIC with a one-set lead against Assumption. Looks like AIC will be starting in rotation 6. First server for Assumption is number 1, Kyla Belden. AIC this year, when winning the first set, is at a 17-0 record, looking to extend that winning record. Ulrika mishandles that serve and leads to a point for Assumption, take an early lead in set 2. Assumption with another tough serve, but Andrea is able to find that ball right to target, get herself into system on the outside swing. Tip attacks from Assumption leads to an outside swing from AIC. Off-speed ball back to AIC, fed into the middle, but the Assumption block, equal to the task, earns the point for Assumption. This time the serve is handled in the system by AIC. Assumption block gets in the way, fed into a middle attack, but the AIC block comes up big. It repelled the middle attack, but fed out to the pin, and the Assumption pin hitter, number 16, Carly Goodhue, is able to find the kill on the angle. Assumption with a 3-0 lead. AIC with an inset pass led to an in-system swing by the middle, and able to tool the big middle block. It looks like Assumption is committing blockers to slow down the AIC middles. Getting in her face, but Otta was able to get the kill past those blockers. Naomi Eckert now back to serve for AIC. Tough serve. Puts the setter of Assumption tight to the net. Ball tipped over to AIC. AIC forced into a tight set of their own, but number 13, Amber Williams, able to tip that ball to a great spot for the kill. Assumption with a decent pass that led to an outside swing. And an angle kill. It's not often we see a wood kill. Ball goes straight to the floor on this AIC defense. Back to serve, number 5 for Assumption, Alexandra Krosik. Hard jump float gave Amanda Rodriguez some trouble, but AIC able to feed it back into the middle, and a strong swing from Otta, number 3, for the kill. AIC now just trailing by 1. Andrea Serra back to serve with her aggressive topspin attack. Serve goes long. Point for Assumption. Assumption's libero now back to serve, hoping to disrupt the AIC offense. AIC feeds the ball out to Eureka. Makes a swing but blocked, recovers. And Naomi feeds the ball out to Andrea Williams for the kill on the right side pin. Ada Guerrero Martinez is now back to serve for AIC, looking to tie the match up at 5 points apiece. Service law error again, long. Coach Cribben doesn't look too fazed by the missed errors, but we know that team prefers to put some pressure on the Assumption serve receive. Assumption with a 6-4 lead now. Tough jump float drops short of Ulrika. Leads to a backward attack by Andrea Serra. Assumption into system. Big block from, let's see. Milani and Andrea Williams are able to combine for a strong double block on the outside pin. Assumption now in serve receive rotation 4. Janae Kelly had a big service run last game. Challenges the serve receive, leads to an attack from the libero. Tough dig from AIC libero. Setter dump and strong dig by Janae. Assumption was looking for a 4-touch call, but doesn't get it. Point AIC. Definitely a disputed call. I didn't see the 4 touches, but I looked down to check a name. Maybe Assumption saw something I didn't, along with the referees. Assumption with an in-system pass and a strong middle swing that finds the floor for the point. Game is tied up at 6-6. Now Assumption leads 7-6. Jump float serve is fed out to the pin. Ulrika is met by 2 blockers in weight. Assumption with a dig. Andrea Serra with a one-handed dig by the floor. Keeps the play alive. Assumption into their slide attack. Dug along the net. The rally continues as I had to sneeze. Andrea. Assumption with a rollover, dug up by Janae in the back. Assumption with another swing, big block by AIC, and AIC wins this incredible war of attrition in that rally. Assumption players look frustrated. Long rally with multiple exchanges across the net. Ulrika Blumgren back to serve for AIC. Assumption goes into their slide attack, leads to a tip and block. And the official has a centerline violation, point AIC. AIC claims the lead at 8-7 here in set 2. Ulrika sends a bullet to the deep back row. AIC sets their outside hitter. Middle recovers the blocked ball into an overpass. Assumption was able to find their middle, and the ball drops just short of Janae Kelly. Coach Cribben now giving Milani some blocking cues to improve the AIC block. Amanda Rodriguez has trouble with the serve. Ball still fed out to Andrea, out of system and leads to the kill. Andrea Serra is leading AIC in kills per game. She's had 17 games with 10 or more kills. She's approaching that number now in set 2. AIC libero back to serve. A menacing float serve is passed into the net, recovered by the Assumption setter. Led to a free ball, AIC in system. Andrea Serra with a swing. They brought all 3 blockers in to try and slow her down. But AIC's recover leads to an Andrea roll kill down the line. That off-speed changeup really caught Assumption on their heels. Awesome ball control from the kill leader. Another float serve gets Assumption off the net. But the AIC block is tooled out of bounds. Kyra Belden now back to serve for Assumption. With the backrow setter now, Assumption will have 3 attackers available in the front row. After a tough pass from Ulrika, Naomi Eckert is called with her first ball handling error of the game. Coach Cribben didn't look pleased with that call. Much like balls and strikes, it's very subjective. Assumption answers with a strong serve that leads to a pass along the net and an Assumption point. Assumption now leading 11-10 here in set 2. Trying to make it 3 in a row. AIC is able to feed the middle, but the Assumption blockers are there to slow her down. Andrea answers with a swing, and the libero digs it up. They feed Andrea again. Another dig for Assumption. AIC block gets big to shut down number 8, Anna Dean, for Assumption. Point AIC. Andrea Williams back into the game for AIC in the front row. AIC will now have 3 live attackers in the front row. 3 big threats against the Assumption defense. An ace for Naomi Eckert from the service line. It was a close call right down the sideline in zone 5. Naomi back to serve again. This time serving it short into another ace. Ball is poorly handled by the Assumption serve receiver, and a timeout is called by the Assumption head coach. AIC leads 13-11 in set 2. As the timeout comes to a close, in set 1, AIC was leading in kills against Assumption. And this season, when AIC has had more kills than their opponent, they have been 19-0. AIC hoping to keep that offensive hot and get a few more past the Assumption blockers at the net. 13-11 as AIC goes back to the service line. Setter Naomi Eckert with another challenging serve. Out of system roll from the right side attacker. Overpass dig. Life getting pretty hectic at the net here with strong blockers on both sides. Ulrika with a good call and dig. Set out to Andrea Williams. But the Assumption block was in her face and puts the ball back into the court for the point. In rallies like those, it's not much separating these two teams from who will win that point. Seems to be whoever can get that dig up higher and give their team a little more time to swing and transition. Tough Assumption serve leads to a backdoor attack by Andrea Williams. Assumption block was in the face. Amanda Rodriguez made her best chance to dig up that blocked ball, but it wasn't enough to claim the point. Tie game now at 13-13. Alexandra Krosik again to the service line for Assumption. Strong float serve. Andrea from the right pin is able to sneak a ball inside the Assumption block for the kill. Assumption College and row 2 serve receive for Andrea's top spin jump serve. A little off speed from Andrea, catches the Assumption serve receivers on their heels, leading to a poor pass and a hitting error from their outside hitter, number 12, Alexis DeStasio. AIC with a 15-13 lead. This time Andrea with more speed on her attack. And Assumption's Anna Dean tried to toss in a roll shot with some English, but hit the top of the tape and fell on Assumption's side. Point AIC. AIC looking to gain some separation here. Another strong serve from Andrea Serra. Powerful swing from Assumption's outside hitter, dug up by AIC libero. Another dig for the libero. AIC keeps swinging and digging. A roll shot off speed from AIC out of system. Ulrika with a swing on the outside. Back to Assumption on offense. Block slows down the attack. Out of system swing. Number 4, Paola Soderberg is in the game with an attack. Ada with the dig. Another dig and out of system by AIC. And the kill from number 4, Paola Soderbergos. She had 3 different attacks during that rally, and she's finally able to come up with the kill into deep zone 1. AIC now leads the match at 17-13. Timeout, Assumption. All right, after Assumption's second and final timeout, AIC in command and control of this game now, 17-13. May not reflect on the scoreboard, but AIC has won the long, gruesome battles of net play. Strong serves have been a key component to get Assumption out of rhythm on their offense. Strong topspin serve to the libero leads to an overpass. AIC into system and a strong middle attack from Ada. Scores the kill for AIC. Strong topspin serve again into zone 1 now. Gets Assumption out of system. And Paola solo burst with a big roof block on the outside hitter for the point. Really fired up the players on the court as well as the bench. Andrea Serra with another strong serve from the service line, and ace for the point. AIC now up 20-13. Subject coach trying to give cues to the setter for serve receive to handle this strong topspin, coming with a lot of pace and velocity from Andrea Serra. That ball goes just long beyond the end line. Great service run for Andrea Serra. Libero now serving for Assumption. Assumption responds with their own service error long beyond the end line. AIC now just a mere 4 points away from a set 2 victory. Entering for AIC, number 6, Nellie Burnley, to serve for the Yellow Jackets. Good float serve, gives Assumption trouble, leads to an overpass. And there she is again, number 4, Paola Soto-Burgos with the kill from the right side. Really taking advantage of putting pressure on Zone 1 defense. Assumption has not had an answer. She's got 2 kills and a block kill. AIC with the serve into Assumption. A 32 attack in the gap by Assumption. Ball fed out to Ulrika. Stab dig by the Assumption libero leads to a free ball. Andrea Serra with the pass. Quick tempo attack out to Ulrika, but she attacked it into the antenna. Point for Assumption. Brittany Montova now back to serve for Assumption. Float serve to Andrea Serra, a little tight, but feeds into a middle attack by number 10, Melanie Hernandez with the kill, tooling the middle blockers from Assumption. Janae Kelly now back on the serve. She had a big service run in set 1 when the game was tight. Has served well and played defense well today in set 2. Strong serve into zone 1. Ball fed out to the outside attacker. Buries the ball in the zone 5 seam. I think there may have been a blocking miscue or maybe a missed blocking assignment. Coach Cribben now chatting with Milani about her blocking assignment to slow down that outside hitter. She made that look easy. It looked like hitting lines from the sideline. Assumption back to serve. Shanked pass by Ulrika leads to a back row attack from Andrea. Assumption scramble. Tough dig from Andrea now. Fed out to Ulrika. Strong swing, but the libero answered. Free ball coming from Assumption. Janae with the pass. AIC in system for a back 2 kill. Oh, back 2 swing from Milani was just out of bounds on the sideline. Point Assumption. AIC leads 23-17. Down official now speaking with the table, potentially looking at rotations or some other clerical error at the table. AIC now within 2 points of a set 2 victory. Things seem all clear. Assumption is now cleared to serve. Trying to mount a comeback here in set 2. Float serve again. They're going after Andrea Serra in the back row. Ball's put up to Ulrika. She rolls it in. Setter jump attempt by Assumption is read and blocked by Melanie Hernandez for the kill. Strong net presence there by Melanie to read that setter attempt to catch AIC in transition. Set point, AIC. Number 17, Ulrika back to serve. Ball's up. Assumption tips the ball back. Dug by the setter. AIC out of system. Andrea with the kill, or with the attack. Assumption comes up with a tool kill to keep the set alive. AIC now with 8 set point opportunities. Number 9, Sophia Noel in for Assumption to serve on match point. Top D serve. Ball set up to Melanie Hernandez. And she tools the left side blockers for the win. AIC takes set 2, 25-18. As we prepare for set 3, this season, when winning the second set. AIC continues their streak of being up 17-0 when winning the first 2 sets. 25 points is all that separates AIC from another victory today, and what could become an undefeated October for the Yellow Jackets women's volleyball program. We'll be back in 2 minutes, 30 seconds for the start of set 3. AIC prepping to start set 3. Once again with the serve to command the opening of set 3. The sophomore setter, Naomi Eckert, with the serve. AIC's got a very balanced starting roster here with sophomores, freshmen, juniors, senior, and grad students all pitching in to make the team successful in 2021. Naomi Eckert gets her serving assignment from Coach Diego. And she dials in a serve, again targeting that zone 5. Ball pushed out to the outside hitter, who's able to tool the AIC block of Ada and Paola. It's good to see freshmen getting the opportunities. Assumption up 1-0. Assumption with a tough serve, challenging for the libero. Passes off the net. A strong swing from Ulrika. Paolo again. And a kill from Andrea on the right side. I'm interested to see the numbers for this set. Andrea's third all-time in kills for the AIC program. Today she was at 1,330 before the start of today's match. Andrea weaponizing that topspin jump serve. That leads to an assumption overpass and kill by Ada Guerra Martinez. When losing the first point of games, overall, AIC is 27-11 record. But they're responding well. Now leading 2-1. Strong topspin serve again. Ball goes out to Assumption's outside hitter, blocked by AIC. Into system, Paola on the right side. The freshman comes up with a kill once again on the right side. Paola, Puerto Rican native, is really bringing some great ball control to the right side pin. Andrea dials up the pace on her topspin serve. Assumption tries to throw a ball into a 32 gap attack. Dug up by Andrea, and a big swing from Ulrika. Ulrika, another freshman on the pin, beats the Assumption block for the tool kill. AIC now leads 4-1. The topspin continues to give Assumption trouble. That pass leads to a ball handling error by the Assumption setter. Assumption coach calls timeout at 5-1. Some visible frustration on his face, as his team has seemed to have no response to the topspin jump serve attack. Timeout over. Andrea Serra back to the office on the service line. Comes out swinging. Assumption into that. Again, the 32 gap attack finally connects and finds a good seam between Andrea and Amanda in the back row for the kill. Number 5, Alexandra Krosik now back to serve for Assumption, looking to start a nice bounce back run here. Andrea with a tough pass, but Amanda's able to get an out-of-system set out to the pin. Leads to a decent attack from Ulrika that put Assumption out of system as well and led to the ultimate hitting error. We have a sub coming in now for AIC. Number 6, Nellie Bermley in to serve. She was in at the end of set 2 and met with some great success, both serving and digging in the back row. She's locked in on her serve, finds her target, hits the libero. Naomi with the dig. Nelly with the out-of-system set, AIC attack. Assumption comes back swinging from the outside pin. AIC with the attack, asking for it to be out, but the line judges have it hitting the antenna. Point, Assumption College. Seemed to be some miscommunication between the R2 and the line judge. All the matter, AIC gets back in the system, feeds Milani, and she comes back with a strong kill at zone 5. Janae Kelly now back to serve. A lot of success today from Janae, both as a serving sub and back row defender. AIC in the system finds their middle. But Milani has a huge block right in her face, ready and waiting to end the rally instantaneously. Strong net presence from the Yellow Jackets here in set 3. Janae with a tough float serve, out of system. Libero sets it up. Strong swing from Assumption. Dug up by the Yellow Jackets. But the dig was so tight that the AIC setter was called for a back row attack as the Assumption blocker challenged her. Point Assumption. AIC leads 8-4 here in set 3. AIC back in the system. Out to Ulrika, who's met with 3 blockers. Assumption swings from the pin, but again dug up and recover. Man Rodriguez with a dig by the scorer's table. Eureka dives to make the saving play, but is unable to bring the ball back into play. Point Assumption. Assumption with a float serve at the libero. Andrea Serra from the back row finds the kill straight to the floor. It looked like it was a conservative safe shot into a good open space instead of one of her howitzer kills from the back row. Coach Cribben now giving some instruction and feedback to his libero as she leads the back row defense and out-of-system offense. Ulrika with the float serve. Assumption tight leads to a tip. AIC into system. Milani with the attack. But AIC called for 4 touches. Looks like the Assumption block did not deflect that ball. It was in fact the top of the tape. Assumption now serving again. 6-9 AIC. AIC with the pass. Fed out to Andrea Serra, who unloads but long. Strong float serve, but again fed out to Andrea. Libero for Assumption makes the dig. Free ball back to AIC. AIC used that free ball to their advantage. Milani with a quick middle attack for the kill. Number 3, Ada is back in as middle for AIC as Amanda Rodriguez is serving in the back row. Front row setter for Assumption, only 2 threats. Typically, we've seen the slide attack run against AIC. Instead, it's fed out to the pin. Ulrika with the dig. Great dig from the freshman. Fed out to Andrea with a nice angle, sharp angle roll kill. Great ball movement from Andrea, the veteran outside, to find the kill. Score is now 7-11 AIC. Strong serve at the libero. Off the net for Assumption, leads to a roll attack. A dig and awkward attack along the tape, but ASC back in the system. They are alive, now out of system. Ball popped up high to Andrea. Hard attack down the line, but dug by Assumption. ASC libero comes up with another dig. A back row feed to Ulrika, and again a change-up roll shot from the back row. Spins over the middle blocker and down for the kill. Smart play from freshman Ulrika in the back row. Amanda Rodriguez putting together a strong service run for the Yellow Jackets here in set 3. Assumption wanted to run the slide, but it was not available. High ball up to Andrea. Puts pressure on the Assumption offense. Amanda Rodriguez once again coming up with a big cross-court dig, but Andrea makes the error in the net. It's rare that Andrea makes an in-the-net hitting error. But Assumption takes over from the service line with Sophia Noel, number 9. Ball's up, off the net, libero sets, and Andrea makes a hitting error long. That fires up the Assumption defense. AIC looking to settle down here in rotation 6. Ulrika with the pass, ball fed out to Andrea, who attacks the sharp angle, gets the kill off of a defender deflection out of bounds. Naomi Eckert now back to serve for the AIC Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets now have 3 live hitters in the front row. Andrea, Paola, and Ada. Assumption runs a back 2 middle attack, but dug up by the Yellow Jackets and smashed down by Ada. Firing up her teammates, her bench, and the crowd here. The Hive is buzzing off of that overpass kill. Naomi with a serve, Assumption in system. A go again with the back 2 middle attack. Libero Amanda was able to get low and dig it up, but wasn't able to keep the ball alive to get into a transition offense opportunity. AIC setter Kyra Belden now serving for the Greyhounds. Tough serve received by Andrea Serra. Leads to an off-speed shot by Puello from the outside. AIC back in the system. AIC attack is dug. And then the Assumption is able to tool the block of Andrea and Ada. AIC now leads 14-11. A low pass from libero Amanda, but led to a perfect set and a terminating outside swing from right side. Number 4 freshman, Paola Soto-Burgos. She seems to be confident from both pins today, really giving AIC a balanced attack in any rotation. Jump serve from Andrea. Assumption handles it, dug up by a diving attempt by Amanda Rodriguez. Leads to a tip hitting error by freshman Ulrika Blumgren. Assumption back now, trailing by 3, 15-12. Serve may have been going out of bounds, but played by Andrea Serra. And then right side, Paula Soto-Burgos attacks the ball long, looked for a tip, didn't get the call. Assumption now down 2, clawing their way back into this match. AIC in the system, ball fed out to Ulrika. Her attack rattles around the double block, but falls for the kill. Once again, we have Ada subbed out, and serving specialist Nellie Burnley coming in to serve and defend for the Yellow Jackets. Strong serve, Assumption into offense. Right side roll attack, dug up by the AIC setter. Out of system to Paolo. Attack and dug up by Assumption. Assumption uses AIC's weapon against him with a nice off-speed roll shot to find the floor for the kill just outside of zone 4 on the sharp angle. Number 3, Barbara Elia for Assumption at the service line. Float serve, they go after Ulrika, who shanks the ball out of bounds. Point for Assumption. Tough unforced error Tough to see from my angle, but perhaps that ball did have some extra movement on it. Rika's had a pretty good game passing, but she has been targeted often by the Assumption servers. This time they go after Andrea. Passes it up. And Paola, the right side, again getting a kill. Attacked well, above the block, off the Assumption defender, and out of bounds. Number 5, Janae Kelly now comes in to give AIC another one of those service runs. AIC leading by 2 here in set 3. Her strong float serve backs up the Assumption serve receivers, leading to a free ball. Janae with the pass. Set out to Ulrika on the outside. Attack and kill off the Assumption block. Coach Cribben applauds the effort, and Assumption coach takes his second and final timeout of set 3 and possibly the match. And we're back. Janae Kelly looking to disrupt the Assumption serve receive. Instead, she puts it in the net for a service error. Assumption coach working his timeout magic, earning the point for his team, keeping set 3 within 2 points. In to serve for number 10, Brandy Montoya. She's been good from the service line tonight for the Greyhounds. Float serve is up. Ulrika with the pass. Set up to Ulrika. She smashes the ball down the angle, but dug by the Assumption libero. Assumption outside attacker. Dug up by the AIC libero. Assumption back on offense. Blocked by AIC, but recovered. Ulrika's able to roll the ball off a blocker, and it falls just short of a diving libero's pancake attempt. She wasn't more than 6 inches away from digging that ball up in that famous pancake-style defensive maneuver. Score now 19-16 AIC with Ulrika on the service line. And AIC's big gun, Andrea Serra, in the front row. Assumption leads with a slide attack, but dug up by the AIC libero. Andrea with an attack, dug up by the Assumption libero. Off-speed roll shot from Assumption leads to a slide attempt by Milani. And attacked just out of bounds with no touch. Interesting to see mirroring attacks from both squads. Number 12, Alexis DeStacio, now back to serve for AIC, the outside hitter. Assumption now with a front row setter and only 2 attackers, so we can look to see more of that slide attack. Andrea Serra is able to attack in the gap between 2 blockers and find a kill just before the end line. AIC sub. Right side Paula is out. I'm sorry, that was Nellie Bermley that was subbed out, and Ada is back in the front row middle, while Amanda Rodriguez is back on the service line. Assumption with the attack. Ball set out a little bit off the net to the Assumption attacker, dug up by AIC. Ball fed out to Andrea, and AIC point. We have a touch either by the blocker or the defender, but kill for Andrea. AIC looking now to serve. They have 4 points to claim a set 3 victory and match victory. Assumption with the ball up high. Back 2 from Assumption's middle blocker, dug up. Dug up by Janae Kelly, but a ball handling error on Naomi Eckert. Despite a great dig, the coaching staff is not excited about the ball handling judgment call from the official. Sophia Noel back to serve. She goes after the libero. A tight pass leads to an overpass. Assumption also an overpass, and I think a missed net call. AIC offense, middle attack, Assumption dig. Ulrika with a dig and a flailing attempt to keep the ball alive by Naomi. Led to an AIC. AIC continued the volley, but then ended with an Assumption kill out of the middle. 21-19, AIC leads. Sophia Noel, service error. It bounced off the top tape, but refused to topple over. AIC now up 22-19 with setter Naomi Eckert back to the service line. Triple threat offense in the front row now with a back row setter. We can look to see Paulo and Andrea have both been very effective on both pins. Naomi with the serve. Assumption into system. Roll from the outside hitter. Set to Paulo on the right side, but blocked by Assumption middle blocker number 14, Alana Herska. Sub for Assumption, number 8 coming in. Anna Dean, the freshman outside. Assumption with the serve in. Andrea out of the right side. Libero with the dig. Assumption with a tip attack from the outside. Into transition, back to Andrea on the right pin. Off-speed shot is again dug up by the libero. Amanda with a sprawling dig. Naomi with a sprawling set. Ulrika with a roll shot. Andrea, again, a digging machine in the back row against this Assumption offense. And Palastoto Burgos with an awesome deep push to find the kill after an all-out effort on defense to defend against the Assumption attack. 23-20, AIC leads in set 3. Andrea Serra back on the service line with her topspin jump serve. She dials it in. Assumption handles it well. Pushed out to the outside hitter. Blocked by AIC. Recovered by Assumption with an overpass. And then a big block again from number 14. Alana Herska seals the deal for the Greyhounds. AIC still leads 23-21. AIC to serve receive out of rotation 2. Amanda with the pass. Pushed out to Ulrika. And she attacks this. Ulrika attacked the sharp angle and tooled the outside hand of the middle blocker. And it fell for a kill. It is now set 3 and match point number 6. Nellie Bermley from the service line. Strong float serve. Tough touch by the libero. Off the net set for the Assumption attacker. Dug up by AIC. Roll shot kill down the line by freshman Ulrika to finalize the match. 25-21 AIC. With this match, it is now officially an undefeated October for your Yellow Jackets. They are now 14-0 in October on a great win streak. Thank you for joining us here at the Hive in Springfield, Massachusetts. Signing off, this is Kevin Penner, coach of Agawam High School Volleyball and Pioneer Valley Juniors Club. Thanks for having me. Look forward to the next game. Let's go Yellow Jackets.